All right, y'all. It's your boy back again with another video. And I want to talk about my Pelicans team MVPs. This video initially started off as a ramble that it went on for at least 33 minutes. And my phone decided that that was enough data to be used for a video. It said, fuck you. Um, so I'm going to make a video now about the part that I spent the most talking about, which is what I thought would be most deserving of a video, or at least me making another attempt to make this video. At least it won't be as long because it won't be a ramble. It'll be focused. So, MVPs for the Pelicans. There's three of them for this team. Technically, there is a fourth MVP. Matter of fact, I'll give you the fourth MVP. The fourth MVP is Willie Hernan Gomez, aka Billy Goat. But Billy Goat hasn't played most of the season, and he's kind of saved the Pale season to some degree too because they had to put him in, and he showed that he should have been getting minutes, like I said. And so I think he is on the outside looking in. I don't think he's played enough games to qualify. And so he's not quite the most one of the MVPs of this team, but his value on the team is definitely being felt in that second unit. All right, having said that, I got three MVPs. They're all starters. Zion Williamson, Steven Adams, and Lonzo Ball. Why isn't BI an MVP? I know you guys are going to question me for not having BI, but trust me on this, I'm going to explain why. BI is not an MVP for this team because BI is actually the most inconsistent guy on this team right now. Believe it or not. Can I ask you guys a question? What can you expect from BI on a nightly basis? Let me give y'all a second to think about that. Okay, enough of that. Look, let's be honest. BI is wildly inconsistent. Yes, I know he's still averaging 20 plus points a game. How is that inconsistent? Well, that don't make any sense. He's giving you 20 plus points a game of play. That doesn't make it. You can't be inconsistent if you put up 20 points a game. I'll tell you how he's inconsistent. First of all, do we all know for sure whether BI is going to get us 20 plus points a game every game? Let's be honest. It depends heavily on his jump shot right now. And he can start off good, as we've seen, and taper off. You can be like, well, why does it that apply to so? I will get to that. Let me do this. BI isn't just inconsistent for scoring. Yes, more times than not, I expect him to put up between 16 and 24 points a game. Fair enough. Okay? That's fairly consistent. I got you. But the problem for BI, like I said, it's not just the scoring. It's the rebounding and defense and the passing. Here's the problem, right? One, the scoring. We don't know whether he's going to get 20. We don't know if he's going to get 17, 18, 16. Okay? Like this last game, he had 16. And he's been doing that a lot recently. Really, since they kind of took the ball out of his hands, his has gone down. But he was starting to go down even when they had the ball in his hands. And it was partly because I've been saying a lot of people say it's because of floor spacing. Floor spacing is definitely an issue. It's an issue for everybody on this team for the most part, but we'll work with that for right now. So there's the scoring part, but we don't know. Like some games, Bi's like, damn, he can really play defense, and then other games you're like, oh my god, Bi, can you play some goddamn defense? You don't know. You don't know. And again, it would be okay if we knew for sure every single game he's going to come out there and get 50% field goal shooting and get you 24 points a game. We don't know that. We really don't know that on the offensive side. Even his shooting to me is not what it was last year. Like last year, it was just seemed like every time he took a shot, that shit was going in. That was cash money. It's funny how things have changed. But this year I'm finding myself like, okay, is he gonna make that? Okay, all right, okay, cool. He's attacking out the mid range. He got it. All right, cool. But then he could start off that way, and then midway through the second quarter to have just like, what happened to your fire? People say he sat too long. He got out of rhythm. Look, I've seen guys sit for a while and still stay in rhythm. I'm not saying that you can't sit yourself out of rhythm. I'm not saying that. But for BI, this is happening way too much. Again, the passing is not necessarily all there. He's definitely tapered off. It's to the point that it's a case by case, let me not say case, game by game basis on who's going to lead the team in passing. One game, Lonzo gets 7. He's now leading by like a point, like 0.1. Another game, BI gets 7. BI's leading by like 0.1. That's how it is. They're flip flopping. But even with the rebounding, like we don't know what to get from BI on a night to night basis to the point I can't call him an MVP of this team. Now, I think in the long term, if he were to sit out some games, we would feel his effect more and be like, damn, we miss BI. But over the course of the game with his presence here and there, I think we could be okay for a couple games without BI. I think we got enough on the floor. Because if I'm Stan and BI's not here, you probably start Josh Hart. Or if I'm him, I'm probably going to start JJ. And I'll be like, Lonzo, you're going to play small forward. And then, you put Bledsoe at the point. And, that's how you do it. And then you got the floor spacing. And then the offense runs strictly through probably, knowing Stan is a Bledsoe crush guy. So he'll probably say Zion and Bledsoe and then JJ, because those are the guys he really wanted to run offense for. And he'd be like, Lonzo, you just got to play your same role, except you're going to guard. You're going to have to guard the small forwards because we don't have anybody else. And you're going to play the D and 3 or 3 and D. And that could work to some degree. It might be effective for a little bit. I think if after a couple games you'd be like, damn, we missed BI scoring. But as it pertains to right now, in the midst of a game-by-game basis, I got to tell you, I find myself wishing for the other 3 guys on this list over BI. Okay? Doesn't mean he's not solid. Doesn't mean he's not a good player. Doesn't mean he doesn't provide impact. It's just I find myself in games wanting Zion back in the game and Lonzo back in the game and Steven Adams back in the game over him. Going into that, those are my 3 guys. Those are the 3 most valuable players for this team. I'm going to start with Steven Adams. Steven Adams is the best center by a country mile on this team. It's not even close. He gives you a paltry 9 and 9, even though the 9 rebounds isn't bad. He gives you a paltry 9 and 9, and a lot of what he doesn't show up in the stat sheet. There's the picks that he sets, effective, hard, get separation for Zion and others to go to their spots and do what they need to do. He's diving on balls. He's bringing energy. He is an enforcer in the painted area. He has done so much for this team. He is a clear upgrade to what we had at Derek Favors last year, first of all. There's certain matchups with, Billy Hurd-Gomez, and to a lesser extent Jackson Hayes, where when they're in and they're getting crushed, you sit there, you be like, man, like Valanciunas. Valanciunas the other night was like giving us hell for a little bit. You put Steven Adams back in the game, and it's like, oh, problem solved. Funny how that works, right? And you're sitting there like, oh my God, can we get Steven Adams back in the game? This sucks. Even when Steven Adams has been hurt, you sit there, you're like, Jackson Hayes, and it's like, can we get Billy Hernangomez in the game right now? Oh my God. Really? Can he come back, please? Can he just play 48 fucking minutes? That's the feeling. Again, all the little stuff that doesn't show up in the box score. Without Steven Adams, the ceiling of this team would be lower. In the first unit, I think the ceiling of the first unit, because they're one of the best teams in the league. They're top 5 in overall net rating, our starting 5. Um, and it just makes you think, wow, if they actually had a legit 2 instead of Bledsoe, how good could this team be? They could be scary. But his impact on the game, man, like, we don't have anything else like him. And I think the theme of this team, or the three guys I have, is they're irreplaceable. You cannot get, like, on this team, there's nobody else that provides the on-court value that they provide. You might be like, well, why not BI? Nobody else can score like him. Yeah, you could just facilitate the scoring to Zion, but I think if you told, all right, Lonzo, you got to take 12 threes tonight. JJ, you got to take 12 threes tonight. Josh Hart, you got to take like 6 threes. I think they could hit enough threes to where you could sit there and say, okay, Lonzo would probably end the game with 19, JJ with like 16, Josh Hart like 15. You'd be like, okay, we got scoring now. You see what I'm saying? I think they could shoot themselves into value. I don't think he provides enough in other places to where it affects the game yet. And that's where he has to improve as a player. If he was a defensive stalwart, man, BI would be the best player on the team. And it's funny, he was the best player last year, and now it seems like Zion is taking the number 1 spot, which was the question, like, would he ever be that number 1 guy? Well, it turns out, yes, he is that number 1 guy. Speaking of Zion, Zion's the other MVP for this team right now. Look, this guy is giving you 60% scoring. He's averaging like 25, 26 a game in his second year. Improved free throw rate. He is ridiculous right now. Fred Vinson deserves a Medal of Honor for the work he has done in that department. Look, I'm ex-military. Don't come and hit me with, my grandpappy got the Medal of Honor and you disrespect the veterans. Well, I'm a veteran, bitch. So I can say that shit. So don't come in here talking about you don't respect the veterans. I am a veteran. So, yes, he deserves a Medal of Honor, Nobel Peace Prize, all that shit. Zion has been terrific this year. I think he's been better than advertised. I dare say he's better than he was with Gentry. And he was already really good last year. But he's been phenomenal, man. Like, and the thing is, he don't even have the technique part down. Like, he's just, occasionally he'll take a 3. They're giving him the ball more on offense to run pick and roll. The smart thing, Stan needs his flowers for this. Yes, put Zion, I'm going to come back to you. Let's talk about Stan Van Gundy real quick, motherfucker. Let's have that conversation. Because I remember a lot of you was over here bashing Stan Van Gundy the other day, and I got to talk shit about y'all real quick. So Stan, the man, decided to do something smart a couple games ago. He was like, not only am I going to run Zion at the point guard, which I said I disagree with, and I still do for the most part, but I said he still needed to get those reps, and he's getting those reps. Ding. But he decided, wait a minute, we don't have floor spacing. How do you get floor spacing when you got 2 guys that live in the paint? I got it. You give Zion the ball and you make the guys, instead of pick and roll, you make them pick and pop. So the guys that set the screens for him are the best 3-point shooters on his team, supposedly, allegedly, in Zoe and JJ. So what happens in the second unit, JJ comes in and he sets the pick for Zion, and now you have to make a decision. Do you allow the person that was guarding JJ or Zoe to go off with the ball with Zion along with the person who was guarding Zion? Because now you're giving Zoe and JJ a chance with their feet set to get their shot off. That is the genius. That is the adjustment. And people are like, Stan don't make adjustments. Yes, the fuck he do. He made the adjustment. I'm going to provide space by taking the person, one of the people that can't make space, and giving them the ball and say, here, they now have to guard you. Pick and roll situation with the guy who needs to shoot and who's better if he can catch and shoot. Zoe and JJ. Why he isn't doing this with BI, I don't know. But I guess maybe they think the guy that is guarding BI is closer to Zion's size too, so it'll bother him more. But you got those guys. Zion sets the pick and roll. He's got both of those guys, maybe even a center too, who's focused in on him. And now Zoe and JJ feet can shoot, knock down their jump shots. It's been working. And then not just that, Zoe is setting those effective ass picks. Even in the paint, Zoe set an effective ass pick the other night. They got Zion an easy layup. It was ridiculous. Stan, you deserve credit. You deserve the utmost credit. And even if nobody else is going to appreciate that adjustment you made, I'm going to appreciate that adjustment. Shouts out to you, Stan. Now, I still don't agree with your schemes all the time, but I got to give credit where credit is due. That is an effective, smart coaching adjustment for your team that comes from knowing your personnel. And again, I told you guys it was going to take Stan time to get used to coaching again too. He still has to get used to it because he's been out for so long. It's funny how all this stuff I said you. Anyway, Stan, go back over here. This ain't about you. Zion, bring that ass here. So, Zion, the scoring stuff is phenomenal. The free throws. Improved free throw shooter this year. Fan-fucking-tastic. But let me tell you what else Zion is shining. That man is setting picks on the level of Steven Adams. He wasn't even setting picks this good last year. I don't know if it's just having, the time off this offseason to work on his game, get into shape, or if it was Stan, or if it's just Steven Adams' presence in general. But the man has been setting some picks that was getting, even in the beginning of the year when Zoe was sticking to that mid-range, those picks, phenomenal. That kind of stuff in the rebounds that he's getting, in the corralling of the ball, getting to the free throw line. Look, one of the things, I made a video not too long ago, actually it was quite a while ago. I think it was around December, November. One of the things I said about this team, may have been in January, I don't know. But one of the things I said about this team is the offense can be supplemented to some degree by getting to the free throw line. What do I mean? What happens when you get to the free throw line? First of all, time stops. Like I'm finna do with this video. Pause. Different position when you saw it, right? When you pause the game, that means whatever points you get adds value to the game that doesn't involve defense. What that means, let me translate this for you guys. If you can slow the game down, one, your guys are getting breaks while the free throws is huffing and puffing, except the guy that's on the line. And even still, he gets to walk off, take a breather, come back, breathe, bounce, bounce, bounce. You're slowing the game down to some degree. So that helps your team. That helps your starters, especially if you get to the free throw line. Which is why whenever they get teams in foul trouble, like attack, attack, and attack, beat them up. You get to slow the game down. You get to get free points on the board. Which, what does that do? That helps your defensive rating. That helps your defense. So, him getting to the free throw line, phenomenal improvement this year. It has helped this team defensively, to be honest. I need to go do research on this, but I'm willing to bet the more games he's gotten to the free throw line, the better the defense of the Pelicans this year has been in general. So, he's helped their defense by getting to the line on offense, because you're taking the defense out of it. First of all, the defense gets to get set, and he's been making them at a rate that is very good. I think he's making them at 70-something%. Zoe's still shooting better for free throw than he is, but he's still knocking down free throws. He's forcing the game to slow down, which is allowing the other guys on the team to catch a break. Requisite, that also means that the other team gets to catch a break too, but it's helping on defense. And then obviously the pick setting and stuff that he's done, the screens. the rebounding. Like, he's providing so much tangible value. And the fact that the defenses now have to key in on him so much, they have to pay 2, 3 bodies on him, is helping the team get better requisite looks. It doesn't matter how many guys is there. A center can't guard him one on one. A center and power forward most of the time can't guard him on one on one. But if you got to take 2 guys to guard him, somebody is open. Value, 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 value. Problem with Brandon Ingram. Can you guard Brandon Ingram one on one? Yes. Yes. You can still guard him one on one. Is he good enough to transcend that? Absolutely. But you can still put one on one with him and win. That is the problem. Zion, you cannot necessarily put one on one and win. Matter of fact, you cannot put one on one with him and win. You have to put 2-on-1, and he can still win. That's what makes him so elite and so valuable. BI's not that kind of guy with the scoring. Like, you would have to put 2 guys on KD or Harden to stop them. You do that one. That's the thing. Zoe. Zoe. Okay, look. Y'all have heard my Zoe arguments before. 2 bucks. Let me ask you guys a question. Who were the leading scorers in the Portland game? Lonzo and Zion. Okay. What did I tell you guys about Zoe? Whatever job you need him to do, he can do. He will fill in the role that you need. If you need defense, he got you. If you need the scoring, he got you. If you need the rebounding, he got you. You need the assist, the playmaking, he got you. He does it all. And now you see the effective ass picks and screens he's setting for his teammates. Look, that stuff doesn't show up in the box sheet. There's passes where he made the little hockey assist. He got the ball where it needed to go, and a teammate capitalized on it. Or he got the ball up to BI. BI got the dump off pass to Zion for the easy 2. He won't get credit for that, but that's an easy shot. That is a field goal percentage bumper. That's an offensive rating bumper. That kind of stuff is his impact on the game. Going back to when, let me talk about Zion real quick too with this. When Zion is on the bench, you expect BI to carry the game. Some games he can do it, some games he can't. He's inconsistent. But when Zion comes back in, I already know he's about to be focal. Like, he's about to get attention. The entire defense has to change to contain him. There's games when BI is at the point of attack and I'm like, we need Zion back in the game. We need him bad. And so I'm in my head, I'm like, Zoe, if just get the ball, dribble out time, and try to get Zion, either attack the basket or get to the free throw line. Please just buy us a moment. Get a steal and buy us a moment so that the score can at least stay stagnant, and then Zion can get back in the game. Going back to Zoe now. Again, his value on the court is tremendous. He can go get you steals. Anything you need in the stat sheet, he can go get you. He can be the best 3-point shooter in the league if he wants to. He's been trending up, and honestly, he looks like he may be better this year from 3 than he was last year. Granted, his numbers tanked in the bubble. He was at 38% last year before the bubble started. So I don't think there's going to be a bubble, and even if it did, I think if there's more games, it'll bode well for him. But I think he started to kind of get into his rhythm and figure things out. Having said that, there's so many games where the guards are getting tore up. Nikhil, JJ, Josh Hart, Bledsoe, Kira, Did I say Nikhil Alexander Walker? Nikhil Alexander Walker. They're getting tore up. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, we need Zoe. It could be another guard that's acting an ass, and then he comes in and he just solves the problem. He takes them out the game. It's like, whew. Wow. He can make the game easy? Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not know these. I did not know that he can make the game so easy. My friend, thank you. That's just what he is. He comes in and he makes the game easy. And it used to be like he makes the game easy because he makes everybody on the team better. He makes the game easy by not even being on the ball. LeVar was always talking about how he makes the game better by doing all the other heavy lifting as the point guard. He's making the game easier by doing all the heavy lifting that everybody else don't have to do as a guard. Those plays when he can switch on an all five at one point and defend and make a play, value. When he can sit there and get on a guard and clamp the opposing best guard and you just have to have Zion and BI carry, value. The fact that you can dependably give him the ball and trust him to knock down the three, value. The fact that if BI picked up his dribble and he can't initiate the offense and you got the last 7 seconds on there, you need Zoe to do a pick and roll with Zion real quick to get a look, value. The fact when you may need someone to crash boards, value. Even though they've taken him off the boards, it seems recently. Uh, and I think that's actually probably best for him because he don't need to be expending the energy on the board when you got to do everything else. Um, Look, the ultimate thing for this is every one of these guys on the bench, you want them back in the game much more readily and much faster. It's like if you could get them to play all 48 minutes, you would. Billy is starting to get there on this team, except I think his value is different because he's the backup center, and he does the job in holding it down until Steven Adams gets back. But especially if he starts to knock down those threes, we good. Especially think about this: if he can start knocking down threes, and you got Zion in there, you can play five out. If you can play five out with Willie Hernan Gomez or Billy Hernan Gomez, Billy Goat, they're about to take off. But the main thing is the three central guys I mentioned, when they come out of the game, you consistently know that what's going to happen. If Zoe's not there, there's less ball handling, less playmaking, even if he's not the primary facilitator. Even as a secondary facilitator, that can't be ignored. But there's the shooting issue, there's the defensive issue, especially. Those things compound badly. When Zion's out, that focus of the defense on him is not there. So that means that everybody else on the team doesn't have as much space to work with from him collapsing defenses. That can't be ignored. And Steven Adams doing all the dirty work, diving for balls, setting picks, blocking shots, going to get rebounds, dealing with those bigs so that other guys don't have to. Tremendous, tremendous value. And you might say, well, shit, we had Billy Hernan Gomez and we did pretty good without him. There's a difference between Billy and Steven Adams. And of course, I'm taking Steven Adams, 10 out of 10 unless Billy Goat can actually start hitting those threes. When Billy Goat can start hitting threes, then we're going to have a discussion. Because you just paid Steven Adams a lot of money. If Billy can start and he can be a stretch five, if Billy could shoot threes and you just paid this man all that damn money, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna look like a dumbass mistake because you would have much rather have gave money to Billy, let Billy start, and then now you got a unit where you got floor spacing because you can camp Billy out at the 3-point line, and now you can leave Zion in the middle and you give BI all this extra space. Oh my God. Anyway, look. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm just saying it can compound if he can actually knock that three down with any level of certainty and efficiency. So those are my MVPs. This is a long video still. I did not intend for it to be this long, but I guess I had a whole lot to say. Who are your MVPs for this team? If you don't agree with my MVPs, who do you think I missed? Do you think I'm wrong on my BI perspective or take? Or is there something I missed? Is there, please let's have a conversation in the comment section. I would like to hear your opinion. If I'm wrong, I'll come out and admit it. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but that's just my viewpoint on it. Maybe you guys view it the same way. Hey, maybe you agree, but maybe you think the way I got to it was differently. Maybe you see other things in Lonzo or Zion or Steven Adams that I didn't see or didn't mention in this video. If so, I would like to hear it. Let me know. But anyway, as usual, y'all have a good day. And I got to get my son, so I'm going to have to sneak and do videos because y'all know how loud he get this evening. But I'm going to watch this game tonight. Peace.